on my sort of, like this, I couldn't think of many things I'd done that were like major changes. I shaved my head in college because I wanted to look like Ani DeFranco. And power, had the boots. Also, I can't sing though. But but the biggest change for me really was taking on Speakeasy. You know, it was when was it? It was 13 years ago. Okay, so I had been working for Washington Storytellers Theater, which is like the parent organization of this program, but they kind of were going through hard times and downsized, and so I was out of work, and I ended up in this job at what some of you may even have heard this story. I'm going to do a shortened version, but a job at the AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety. I was $10,000 in debt, and I needed to get out of debt, and I was really hoping this job would work for me, but I walk in, and it was so sad. There was no... It was like a sensory deprivation tank. If you can pick, you know, it's like one of these tall buildings down near Metro Center. There was no light, no sound. One tiny sound, like of a drip, which was my soul steadily leaking out of me. So they set me up in my workstation. They give me some donuts. And, and so day after, I'm thinking, how did I, it was so boring. My boss was so boring. He would make me, he'd bring me into his office, but I didn't register much because he just sounded like a busy signal. Do we have those anymore? For the, but he loved to inappropriately use quotation marks. So he'd be something like, so we really need to leverage what we're doing because I think that it is robust, and with that, we can move forward. I mean, it was, I think he thought this was for emphasis. I don't know. I was this bit shy of just like eating the sticky notes one at a time, just to stay awake and alive. And then the sugar rush is a whole other office culture thing. Like, I hadn't worked in an office because I worked with kids, and then I did stuff that was not office related. But how many people, if you work in an office, like the sugar thing is huge, right? I mean, it's just like if anybody brings in anything with some sugar in it, it goes around the horn. They're like, hey, there's cookies in the kitchen, cookies in the kitchen, cookies in the kitchen. It's like on email, over the phone, over the beeper. I don't know. And if you don't want it, they'll be like, what? You don't want my cookies? Like this pressure to have the cookies. I was but a couple months into it, I figured it out, and it's because it was the only sensory pleasure you have. So at that point, I had a box of Domino's powdered sugar with a spoon just to get through 2 o'clock, 2 to 4, rough. So I'm walking home one day, and I see. If any of you okay, somebody in this room knows this man. I'm walking home, I've got my, business, whatever. I see this guy, he's got hot pink spandex, he's got big yellow headphones, tall black guy, totally, amazingly fit, and he's running backwards. You know him? You know this guy. He's running backwards, but he's not just running backwards, he's like spinning. And he's going, woo! And he's talking to tourists, he's like, hey, welcome to DC, woo! And his knees are high, and he's going now, and he starts to run like across 4 lanes of traffic on New York Avenue. And I am frozen, because I am staring at him for 2 reasons. One, because I am a traffic safety professional. And I don't know if I should go rescue him. And 2, because I am in love a little bit. And I'm jealous. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if he's crazy. But if he is crazy, how do you get to be that kind of crazy? Because I would like a piece of that kind of crazy. And while my mind is like this, I'm just standing there like an idiot. This park police guy comes over. He's like, yep. I guess he's been watching me the whole time. He's like, yep, that's Cedric. And I was like, what? He said he's an accountant by day. And he comes out every day, same time, and does this ever since he's been on the force. 6 years. Every day for 6 years. And so I am really very tempted to go follow Cedric, though he's way too fast. Or at least to shout, wait for me, I am coming. But I don't, but I do have a revelation, which is that everybody makes a choice, right? He makes that choice every day that, yeah, he goes to work, but he knows all day that at the end of the day, he's gonna put on pink spandex. And he's gonna spin around town. And he's gonna be like gloriously, joyously happy. And he chooses that, and I was not. I was choosing boxes of powdered sugar. And misery. And, you know, just like this sort of like, you know, I was walking around with my own little workstation, you know. So honestly, so that's where my big radical change came in. I had the choice when Washington Storytellers decided they were going to shut down if I was going to keep the Speakeasy going. And I really wasn't sure. I wasn't sure, but so this was 2005, and I did, and I'm very grateful. So thanks for being here.